Entryways come in all shapes and sizes, but most of them comprise of a floor of one of the first-year dorms.
Each dorm is going to be split into these entryways, and this will be your main dorm community. It is led by a proctor and then various peer advising fellows, which we call PAVs here, and together they'll have events to build community, such as weekly study breaks, or they'll go on outings together.
When I was in Pennypacker, I was on the second floor. An entryway is all of us that were living on the second floor, all the suites together. And on each floor, we had a proctor, which is almost like an RA, but they're more of an adult figure.
And this is really your first community here at Harvard as a first year, and you host study breaks with your entryway. And it's an amazing way to get to know the first people you see on campus. My roommate was amazing. He's from Singapore, love him, really exceptional experience with my roommate. So much so that I'm going to room with him at the end of my college journey for all 4 years. He matched my lifestyle. He was an early riser, and he also went to bed early, just like me. And we also did a lot of sports together, so we got to bond a lot in our first year.
I had an absolutely incredible first year rooming experience. I'm so grateful to the housing office for putting me with my roommates. We lived in Canada. We had a suite style. Each of us had a single, and then we shared a common room. And our common room was one of my favorite places to go back to on campus. We'd have movie nights together, order takeout, sit and study together, and just in general, so grateful because those are like some of my closest friends here on campus today.
There was one study break where we had a chocolate fountain and Belgian waffles with strawberries, blueberries, bananas, and a bunch of other toppings. And that was a hit. Pretty much everyone in the entryway came, and it was just a great time. We had the pool table in the common room as well, so we were just eating Belgian waffles, playing pool, and having a blast.
So my favorite study break from this year was definitely a Mario Kart tournament that my proctors and PAVs helped to organize for us. I was undefeated that night, so kind of went down in the history of my life as one of the most legendary nights.
We had a karaoke night. And I know that karaoke nights are sometimes a little bit controversial, or not controversial, but like you really have to buy in. But my entryway, we really did. It was so fun. We didn't even have a karaoke machine. We had a computer and we connected it to the TV that was in our common room, and we were just playing karaoke songs and music with the lyrics in it. And the queue was so long, and we sang every single song together.
I loved Annenberg, and I think the fact that only first year students eat in there is such a unique and special opportunity that is it's really essential to the sense of community that you build in your first year class. You walk around, and even though it's nerve-wracking being in this beautiful, huge cafeteria, there's so many people bustling around, you have the stained glass windows surrounding you, at least you know that every person around you is going through the same experiences as you.
I really enjoyed Annenberg, not just because of the aesthetics, although that was a big part of it. It's super beautiful, but that's where I've met a lot of my closest friends who I ended up rooming with in my upperclassmen house. It's just amazing to be able to share a meal with everyone, but on top of that, being able to talk over those meals.
I was actually the type of student where growing up, my family would eat meals together sometimes, but usually we would just eat together, eat when we were hungry. So I feel like eating to me wasn't that big of a thing. Like you just eat your meal and you leave. But at Annenberg, I would always get into these 2-hour conversations and stuff with people, and it was great because that actually made me very social on campus. It made me open myself up in things.
My experience with my proctor and my peer advising fellows were awesome. My proctor would check in with me weekly to see how I was accommodating to residential life in the first year dorms, but also academically. She was super involved in that aspect as well. Peer advising fellows would also do the same thing. They would be texting me at any given moment to see how I was doing, and we'd meet regularly talking about class schedules.
As for my peer advising fellow, he was a senior, and so he had all the wisdom you could have essentially about Harvard and the student life experience, and he was so eager to share it with me and the other people in our cohort under him as a peer advising fellow. He would hold regular coffee chats and would invite us to come to restaurants and order food for us, just to have one-on-one and group organized group conversations where he would really check in on us, give us any advice, walk us through the course scheduling, give us insider tips generally that you really couldn't know unless you've been here as a student before. And that was so important for the process of me being able to open up to him and just telling that he genuinely cared.
I think for me that was a year of immense transition coming from Hawaii, but I think what made it nice was just meeting the people that I did around me. I really got close to a lot of people in my entryway, and I met some great friends that I'm still friends with today.
I think everything was special my first year, because unlike a lot of people, I did almost no research as to how I was going to live at Harvard, but everything ended up being a surprise, and a pleasant surprise here in my first year.
I would say one of the most special parts of my first year was all of the incredible people who I met and the incredible friendships that I made within the dorm, outside of the dorm, through my classes, through clubs. I'm really so grateful to all of the friends that I've made already in my first year, and I'm so excited for all the people I'll meet over the next few.